legal tender till the 31st of December this year. Now, the response we're getting to this, ever since that judgment was delivered, was that the presidency responding by saying CBN has no reason not to obey Supreme Court on Naira redesign. Now, the presidency said President Muhammadu Buhari never told the AGF and the CBN governor to disobey any court orders involving the government and other parties. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, in a statement said the President never told the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, to disobey any court orders involving the government and other parties. The highest court of the land had on March 3 ordered that old 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes remain valid till December 31, 2023. This was after 16 states of the Federation instituted a suit to challenge the legality or otherwise of the introduction of the policy. The 16 states led by Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara had prayed the Apex Court to void and set aside the policy on the ground that it is inflicting hardships on innocent Nigerians. The court subsequently ruled that the president's disobedience of its February 8 order is a sign of dictatorship, adding that Buhari breached the constitution of the Federation in the way he issued directives for the redesigning of the Naira by the CBN. Now, after the March 3rd judgment by the Supreme Court, the presidency, CBN, and the AGF kept mum, throwing many bank customers and Nigerians into confusion as the ruling of the Apex Court contradicted the directive of the president on February 16 that old 500 and 1,000 naira notes are banned and old 200 notes remain valid till April 10th. Well, that's the response coming from, quote and unquote, the presidency. We've not had the president issue a statement, but this is not the first time we're getting responses from the presidency, tagged presidency. And one has asked, who is this presidency? If the president does not say it himself, should we listen to Garba Shehu? This has been one big argument, right, ever since the emergence of this administration, where statements are issued underneath you hear the presidency, right? But then now they're saying that they never asked, Malami and Godwin Emefiele to disobey any court order. The question is, who gave the directive? On the 16th of February, there was a national broadcast made by Mr. President where he said, and I quote him, that the old 200 naira will coexist with the new 200, new 500, and the new 1,000 naira note. Hence, the old 500 and the old 1,000 naira ceases to be legal tender in this country, according to Mr. President. So, after the judgment was delivered, who should issue a statement? Should it be the CBN or Mr. President? This is one question that is begging for answers. Well, according to, quote and unquote again, the presidency, coming from Garba Shehu, he said, and I'm quoting again, the CBN has no reason not to obey the Supreme Court on Naira redesign. Good morning to you, Julius.
Good morning, Peniel. Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, Nigeria. It's indeed a great day to be here. And of course, lest we forget that the governorship and state assembly elections are still scheduled to hold on Saturday, the 18th of March 2023, and so by so doing, all electioneering campaigns build up to that elections will be ending on Thursday midnight. Also, the big story that, of course, most Nigerians celebrated last night was the pronouncement by the CBN through its personnel that the old notes are still valid as legal tenders, and that is coming through at a time where Nigerians have been in a hinge of the naira crunch, and this had really beaten down to the polity, and so many Nigerians have been crying hard, and of course businesses crumbled, so many defiances to the polity, and of course it's a good day for Nigerians, and most Nigerians are still not aware. And this morning, Peniel, on my way to the office, I got to encounter some persons arguing over this press release by the CBN last night, and I saw a cab driver actually saying that it's a lie, that there have been no release of such, and then the passenger was actually telling him that yes, last night there was a press release by the CBN, and the old 200, 500, 1,000 naira banknotes still remain legal tender. And people are yet to come to terms with the reality of the fact that this press release has been made, and even if it had been made, the judgment of the Supreme Court came about on March 3rd, and then today being March 14th. How many days has it taken the CBN to come through to acknowledge this particular judgment? And the Nigerians are still worried, and if they are to obey the Supreme Court, of whose judgment was passed on March the 3rd, or if they are to obey the CBN, who had a press release last night being March 13th, or they should wait for the presidency or the president to come through with another national broadcast to re-emphasize the essence of the validity of the old 200, 500, 1,000 naira banknotes. So these are various questions, but by virtue of the press release last night by the Central Bank of Nigeria through its press release, then the old notes remain valid. So I think it's a good one for Nigerians. There's ease, of course. This morning, some faces are easing up, tensions are dying low, and then we get to see Nigerians expect that this policy, this renewed policy, will come to stay and come to place in the system.
Now let's look at beyond these press statement released last night by the CBN. Well, prior to that press statement, the governor of Anambra State,